How you doing? Jason Alumablade here. What I wanted to talk to you about also is I want to talk to you about your basic shop setup. You want all your common tools and everything within reach. You don't want to go looking for things. You don't want to have things that you have to dig out of drawers on the other end of your shop. Tools that you share with other projects. You want to have knife specific tools so they're always where you last left them. You always want to have a home for those tools, each individual tool, and put those tools back at home. Simple tools such as scissors, calipers, a square, markers, pliers, files. Those things should all be at arm's reach. Okay, and most of us have a small shop, so we got to maximize space. I did a little workshop tour video, but I'm just going to show you briefly. I'm going to take you around and just show you what I mean. This is outside when I come into my shop and I'm working. So I got my drill press and the metalwork for a drill press set up out here. I've got my milling machine set up out here because I don't use them every day. So when you go into the shop, it's a little bit messy, it's getting there. So this is my main workstation right here. So in here, in this cabinet here, I have all the things that I need to grab. Should I have to grab them? And I just have, so that's kind of a mess, but I got the stuff that I grab all the time. I've got my, my temperature gauge, I've got my soft brass hammer, I've got my ball peen hammer, I've got another hammer, I've got my file set, drill bits, my other drawer, I'll have some titanium, that's for my folder stuff, and then I have scale materials in this drawer and some pins, handle materials basically, and some kydex materials. Over here is all folder hardware. At the very bottom I keep my mask, my chemical etcher, and I keep extra little bags and things like that to hold small parts. Then you come up on to my workbench. I have my surface granite plate. I don't use that every day, so I shove that all the way in the corner with my height gauge. I keep my cleaner behind that. I keep my etch material behind that because it's really accessible. I've got my drill bits for my folders, numerous drill bits. I label everything what it's for. Then I have different tapes that I do use for different things. Put a magnetic bar up to put and hang some blanks that I'm working on in process or things that I'm just hanging up out of the way. Here's a whole batch of 10 knives that I got to finish. Here's scales for one of these knives. Here's one of my friends I was teaching him how to make knives, so this is one of his in progress. Up here is a very handy little shelf. I just have various different hand tools that I got to grab because most of my work is done here. In the back area I put everything to the back that I don't need but I can see it. And then I got my vise, which is my sanding station and my vise station. I have my Robot hanging by my vise because that's where I mostly use it on stuff, and I have my Dremel hanging. I'm going to do a review on this Robot. This is like a Fordham. The thing is unbelievable. Up top I have things that I just grabbed from my overhead. So I have my Chaucer Waterstone, my Diamond Stone for sharpening, and my strop block. I have clamps that I just stick to there. Various projects stuffed in bins. Now this is where I do my assembly, I do my work, I do my thinking, I do my computer work, I do a lot of different things over here. My point is I keep everything accessible to me, is what I do. So then I switch over to this side. My grinder is right over here. Okay, so I got my grinder set up there. I got an air conditioning boot that goes down into a spark bucket, and I got my quench bucket hanging next there because next to me, right there, I keep all the wrenches right there, real close for my adjustments. I keep all my work rests to the right. Okay, my thought being is the less movement I have to make to do something, the better, the more efficient I'll be. Keep my sanding blades here, I call them blades, I don't know why. I keep my sanding belts, my grinding belts, I keep them right here. I keep the new ones separate from the old ones. The old ones get used until they're no good, then they get thrown in the trash. Right next to the grinder I have my bandsaw that I use to cut out the blanks. Next to that I have my heat treat oven, and I have my quench buckets right below it. I always make sure I keep my heat treat stuff close by. I keep my gloves right next to it, and I keep my tongs right underneath the oven. And then on this big workbench, which is going to go away because I'm redoing the shop, I have things I don't use every day. This is folder specific stuff. I got my surface grinder and my high-speed drill press, and I keep my steel all the way to the back of the shop. Over here I have been clearing out a spot because my Tormach CNC machine is going to go right in there. With that said, I have everything set up for workflow. I'm walking around maybe in a 6x12 area. I have basically all that stuff, 6 feet wide of foot space, so I'm not walking far. It's just something to think of when you're setting up your shop. Just a little something, because you don't want to have your grinding belts hanging far away from your grinder and have to dig them out when a belt breaks on you or you need to change it. Set yourself up for success, and it'll make other things easier. Don't make the easy things difficult, because they'll only make the hard things impossible. So, alright guys.